Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going for a ride. Gravel. First, let me start off by saying thank you to all my new subscribers. I cannot be happier. Extreme show of like generosity and appreciation. Subscribing to the channel, you like the content, you've been commenting. I just, it blows me away and it humbles me a lot. I just cannot thank you enough. If you're new to this channel or you've been around for a while and you just have forgotten, every once in a while I'll take the bike out for a ride, talk about what's coming up on the channel, what I'm doing new, what's in the future, what future videos are coming up. I do this as kind of a talking head type video, where other people's have like talking heads where it's just them talking into the camera. You just see their head on screen. This is my version of the talking head type thing. So once in a while I'll take the bike out, stretch its legs, and I'll talk about a certain topic or something if I want to, just have a discussion about it. And instead of just you staring at my ugly mug the whole time, you get to see some nice scenery around, you know, southeastern Michigan here, and go for a ride with me. So technically you're all kind of a riding buddies. You're coming along for the ride. So today we're just going out for a little ride. It's my lunch hour, so figure I'd take a little stretch. It's not the greatest day, but it's, you know, it's dry and it's not too windy, so might as well take advantage of it. Go for a ride. Some things I want to talk about. First thing I kind of already mentioned. I cannot thank you guys enough. We've seen a surge in subscribers here last week especially. So if you are new to the channel, I want to talk a little bit about what my channel is about. If you're new to the channel, welcome. The name of the channel is Matao Outdoors. A lot of people struggle with that name, but that's just been kind of my nickname for a long time. So it's just, when I created my channel, that was my natural name that I went with. But what my channel is about is essentially anything outdoors. I like to be outdoors. I like to do stuff. I like camping, hiking, fishing, motorcycles, obviously, woodworking, stuff like that. So if it's getting me out of the house, I like it. I do have a wide variety of videos, so not everything might be for you, but something might be. So I've been trying lately to distinguish the videos based on the thumbnails. If you see a thumbnail with a white background, usually I'll put a little hand plane in it. That's usually going to be a woodworking video, some type of woodworking or something like that. If you're here for power tool woodworking, probably not going to be the channel for you, but basically what I'm into is kind of traditional style woodworking. So I do a lot of hand tool woodwork, basically everything with hand planes, hand saws. Occasionally, now I don't want you to think, oh, that all you do is hand tools. I do use power tools from time to time. I did recently purchase a real pile of junk, thickness planer, as well as like I'll bust out an orbital sander when it comes time to sand and stuff. Unless it's a small project, then I'll sand by hand or something, or I'm just making a point of just doing everything by hand. I do that mainly because I like the connection it gives me to the piece that I'm working on. I just have a stronger connection, and I feel more of satisfaction when I use hand tools and build things kind of the traditional way. So I do like traditional woodworking and stuff. It just gives me a better connection to the piece that I'm working on, and I like to learn old ways of doing things. Not super like one of those paranoid guys that thinks like, oh, one day the world's gonna end. But, you know, I'm on the side that I could see that being a possibility, you know. So you never know what tomorrow may hold, and you know, the people of our past that have built this country and built it up, you know, they didn't have the luxuries that we had today, and I feel it's important not to forget that stuff. So I try to learn old ways of doing things. I do carry that over into other videos as well. So like I said, I do the woodworking stuff. That's normally primarily a lot of wintertime content. So winters are, this one has been a little weird, but typically Michigan winters are pretty cold, pretty snowy, pretty just wet in general, and just nasty. And that's hard to get out and make content in that kind of weather. Not that I won't do it, but I'm just not a fan of just freezing my butt off and being miserable just to make content. And it's kind of hard to film in those kind of conditions as well. So during the winter, I focus a lot on indoor garage projects, woodworking, and things like that. You just stay in your lane, buddy. So in the summertime, summertime right around now, I still have some projects that I want to wrap up, and I'm probably still going to be doing some more over the summer woodworking wise. So if you're here for woodworking, don't be discouraged that, oh, I'm not going to do any more woodworking stuff for the summer. But in the summertime and the spring, I tend to focus more on hiking and camping gear, outdoor cooking, things like that. I've been trying to do more and more, but I'm very active with the Boy Scouts right now. My son is in Scouts. He's working his way towards Eagle Scout, and I want to be there with him on that process. We do a lot of camping and a lot of things in scouting, but unfortunately I respect people's privacy and stuff with their children, and there's usually a lot of other kids around, so I don't tend to film a lot at scouting stuff. So you'll hear me talk about scouting stuff from time to time. I'll talk about things that I'm going to take to a scout camp or on the way back, but I won't actually film any of the scout stuff at camp, just because privacy reasons. I don't want to put their faces on camera and things like that. But in the spring and the summer, I will do a lot of camping reviews and, you know, gear reviews, things like that. I like outdoor cooking a lot, and last year acquired a lot of firebox stove products to help with that, and this year I plan to kind of lean into that a little bit more. So if you do like outdoor cooking, you know, stuff like that, you might be interested in videos like that. Anything that's not woodworking, the thumbnails have usually been, they'll have like big yellow text bubble letters on them and stuff. That's usually going to be something that's not woodworking related. So I've only been doing that recently though, so if you scroll back to if you're watching some of my older videos, you might see just the yellow text or whatever, or a mixture. I've been experimenting with different thumbnails, see what works, what doesn't. I have said in videos a long time ago when I first started the channel why I do this, why I have this channel, why I put this content out. One of the main reasons is one day when I'm gone, you know, and I'm dead and gone, I've left this world, I want something that my children will be able to look back on and see a bunch of videos. I don't show a lot of my personal life. I try not to say my children's names on stuff, so you'll hear me call them Assistant 1 and Assistant 2. I like to be involved with them, so from time to time I'll put them in videos. It's not always them, but sometimes I'll put them in on stuff. So this is me kind of passing on my knowledge to my son, my daughter, and stuff in the future. But in the process, you know, if this is entertaining for you, if this, you know, this is just my style of humor on a lot of things, it might not be for everybody. The way I do sometimes get in little rants and things. I do have, like this video is probably all over the place already. I have ADD, and I try to focus on one thing, but I'm easily distracted like a squirrel, you know, so I'll start talking about one thing and then I'll be off on a rant about something else, and usually I'll circle back, but sometimes I don't, and if I don't, sorry. So also, this YouTube thing is hard. It's a side gig for me. It's you know, something I like to do as a hobby, so I try to keep it fun. I tried to put out 2 videos a week in the beginning, and over the past few months, you notice I'm only putting out, this road's really bumpy. I've only been putting out 1 video a week, majority of the time, And that's because my personal life, I have a full-time job and stuff, as well as I own a business, and that takes up a lot of time for me right now. So I've been very busy in both of those, and see if the middle's a little smoother. And it's been taking up a lot of time, so I don't have as much time to film. I do try to film everything in one day, but some larger projects usually will span over, you know, multiple days, if not weeks, on some larger stuff that I'm building. So, you know, keep that in mind. I'm not building everything in a day here. And a lot of the things that I'm doing is me trying to learn that skill. So a lot of my woodwork, I am by no reason or no means a professional woodworker in any way. I do watch a lot of YouTube, mainly like Rex Kruger, Paul Sellers, Rob Cosman, Bourbon Moth, you know, like all those guys and more, you know. Curtis, you know, there's a bunch of them, right? What is going on here? Oh shit, full-on turkey in the road. So I'm learning this skill, right? So if you're here for like professional advice on woodworking, probably not the channel for you. But if you're learning as well, if you want to get into traditional woodworking, I'm watching all these videos, I'm trying this stuff, and I'm trying to learn. So I do appreciate all the comments that you put down and below, and ideas and suggestions. I do take a lot of those and try them as well. Sometimes I fill them, sometimes I don't. But, you know, there's that. It also goes into camping and hiking. My children like the outdoors. They like to camp and hike, as well as my wife and stuff. So we take a lot of trips during the summer, camping related. We have a big camper, pull-behind camper, but we don't mind tenting and backpacking as well. So there's a wide variety of camping types that we do. If you're into like RV style camping, we have some content for that. If you're into tenting, backpacking, hiking your stuff in, you know, we also do that as well. So look for content on that in the upcoming months. So that is basically, in a nutshell, what my channel is about. So what do we have coming up for you? In the upcoming next few months, I've got a bunch of different stuff planned on videos to do. I'm going to probably try to do a couple hiking videos soon, and there probably will be a hike involved, and then like probably halfway through the hike or something, we'll stop and cook some lunch or something, cook a meal on firebox equipment, and then hike back or something of that nature. So I do have a couple of those planned, loosely planned. So when I say planned, I mean I've got basically an idea. You know, I'm not one of those guys that like plans things out to, you know, to every detail. What else is coming up? I am currently starting a series building a bread box out of oak. I have a local hardwood supplier here. He's kind of off the beaten path, and he allowed me to get a couple pieces of rough sawn, what is it, was it 6/4 oak, I think? No, maybe 4/4 oak, sorry. So some 4/4 oak. I'm building a bread box with it. My wife has gotten into sourdough baking and stuff like that, and it's really good. So it gave me the idea to build a bread box. So I'm going to build that out of that oak, but instead of one traditional build video like I've normally done, I'm going to try to break it up into the separate segments, teaching you more about the different joints and things like that that I've learned how to do, or that I'm trying to learn how to do, right? The past couple videos have been kind of preludes to that, setting up a number 5 plane to be kind of like scrub for stock prep, setting up our clamps and stuff that we're going to need for gluing up panels and things like that. In the next few videos coming up, I'm going to make a video on how to square up stock for the projects that you're going to work on by hand. And Then I'm going to get into, you know, how to glue up a panel, how to make a panel, you know, how to choose grain direction, things like that. Oh, that sucks. That was a nice house. Then we're going to move on to probably mortise and tenon joints are going to be in this project. There's going to be probably some dovetail joints as well. Where are you going? So upcoming stuff this year, we have a large trip planned to go to Mount Rushmore. We're going to do a Mount Rushmore trip. We're going to explore those areas. We talked about parking the camper there and maybe taking a 1 or 2 day adventure over to Yellowstone. We'll see how the weather is and how things hold up, but we might do that. We'll see. So we've got some plans. That's going to be probably a multi-video series of that trip. We've got a bunch of other smaller camping trips planned here and there. We've got in September, which I know is a ways off, but I just registered and booked my spot. There's a huge multi-creator Lower Michigan, or I guess Michigan area, YouTube creator meetup going on in September at a campground. And we're all going to meet there and kind of talk about some stuff. The Shalisa Shell. I might be saying the name wrong because it's not in front of me right now, but she's the one hosting it, so I'm excited to go to that and meet a bunch of people. Lower Michigan Adventures is going to be there. He's been a follower of mine for a while. I follow his channel as well. We're kind of going up in the ranks together, so he's got some really cool content too. If you like car camping and stuff like that, like SUV style camping, check out his channel. I'll try to put a link in it down in the description. He's got some cool content as well. So that's about it. There's way more. I've got so many more things of ideas and things that I want to do, want to build, want to go hike at, go explore areas and stuff. So the summer is going to be busy for sure with a lot of content for you guys. So welcome to the channel and come along for the ride. If you are watching my videos and you deem me worthy enough to get a subscription from you, please know that I really appreciate that. It helps the channel greatly, helps me know that what I'm doing is the stuff that you guys like. Like I said, I don't put all of that in my decision making, but you know, I also want you guys to be entertained as well, so I do my best to kind of try to have a good balance. If you are interested in motorcycle content, obviously I have that as well. This is a 2021 Harley-Davidson Lowrider S. I've done some minor upgrades to it, some updates and engine tuning and seats and things like that, but for the most part it's fairly stock. I have a lot more plans coming up, future videos to add, some risers here soon, and cruise control, some other stuff that I want to do for more kind of long distance riding. But so far I've changed the seat, changed exhaust, put a stage 2 tune-up kit in it, and I think that's about it so far. So got some plans to do more stuff like that, so look for those in upcoming videos as well. But anyway, this is probably a long video at this point. I don't even know if I'm still recording. If you like this type of content, click the thumbs up down below, hit the subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell so that you're notified of all kind of new videos and things that we have coming out when they come out, so you don't miss them. And with that, I'll see you on the next one.